Today we're going to take a look back at an old school solo war game. Tarawa, Bloody Betio, 1992, has a BGG score of 5.5, a complexity weight of 2.33. The designer is Mark Seaman. Artists are Joyce Gusner, Roger B. McGowan, and Mark Simonich. The publisher is Worldwide Wargames, 3W. Let's dive into this. Let's take a look at what we have inside. Tarawa, The Battle of Bloody Betio, published by 3W, designed by Mark Seaman. And for those of you with a keen eye will notice the box art is from Roger McGowan, the same person who publishes C3I magazine. And this artwork was used on the cover of issue number 35, which contains Mark Herman's Burma, which uses the Empire of the Sun system. We have a 1-inch box, pretty lightweight. Contains one rule book, a 34 by 22 inch map, 200 die cut counters, some charts and tables, a 6-sided dice. And the game, obviously, is a solitaire game. Has medium complexity, again, based on 1992 standards, and solitaire playability, very high, which you would expect being a solo game. Let's take a look at what's in the box, guys. Standard 6-sided dice. Now, this game was published in 92. So there's not a lot to it. There's a 12-page rule book. You got some tables on the back. Nice. It's 3-column. Oh, excuse me. It's 3-column. Easy enough to read. There is no color, and there are no examples of play to speak of. I mean, technically, I guess that is an example of play. Got some historical notes, and as I love, some designer notes. There you go. Here's your counter sheet. Now you only have counters for the Americans in this game. The Japanese are basically hidden throughout the hexes on the map. You roll 4 casualties. So this is a game about casualty mitigation. Interesting approach, but I think perfect for a solitaire type of game. There we go. And speaking to that, here is your roster sheet where you keep track of said casualties. And I'm going to photocopy this. It is single-sided. And then you mark off your casualties on here. There's also a casualty track we'll see here on the map. I'll have an insert for that. Love this. A typewritten, slightly misaligned photocopy of a terrain effects chart along with some errata. I mean, no expenses were spared. I can't get out of the box easy enough. So that's what's inside the box, guys. Let's take a little detailed look at the map. Of note, the graphics for the map were done by Mark Simonich. Beautiful looking little map. You kind of get a sense for just how small the island was. There we go. Look at that. In the upper right-hand corner of the map, you've got your turn track, a number of different tables that you're going to be rolling on, and then a morale track along with your casualty track, as we mentioned earlier. And then my helper showed up, as she normally does. Thank you, Precious. Off the map. Sorry, guys. She was napping until she heard Dad doing something, and now she's got to come over and help. Anyway, that's a look at the map. The Battle of Tarawa was fought between November 20th through 23rd, 1943. It was the first time in the Pacific War that the United States faced serious Japanese opposition to an amphibious landing. All told, 4,690 of the island's defenders were killed. There were less than 150 survivors. The Marines on Tarawa suffered 3,166 casualties. Nearly all of the casualties were suffered in the 76 hours between the landing at 9:10 on 20 November and the island of Betio being declared secure at 13:30, 23 November. The heavy casualties suffered by the United States at Tarawa sparked a lot of public protests back home, brought into question America's resolve in fighting the Japanese in the Pacific during World War II. So one of the things I like about this game is the fact that it's based not just on capturing the island, but to minimize the amount of casualties. The game is basically played by moving your Marines from hex to hex to defeat the Japanese in the said hex. When a hex is cleared, you place a cleared marker on it. But if the Japanese defense is particularly effective, the Marines will suffer casualties, which is reflected by moving the marker on the casualty track. You, the player, also have to be concerned with booby-traps, snipers, air raids, morale, and supply. The game ends at the end of the third turn, and you win if you clear all the hexes on the island and the casualty track is less than 5,000. Again, that ties into the historical context of the battle and the importance of keeping the casualties low. If you are interested in more information about the Battle of Tarawa, I have put an affiliate link in the description to this video to Utmost Savagery, 3 Days of Tarawa by Colonel Joseph H. Alexander, United States Marine Corps, retired. As always, guys, thank you for taking time to check out what I do here on the channel. Drop a comment. If you got this game, if you played it, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about it. Put a like on the video. I'd appreciate that. And if you haven't already, think about subscribing if you like this type of content. As always, I will talk to you in the next one. Goodbye for now.